up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 64. My name is Bret, aka Enigma911, and today I'm joined once again by Jeff, aka Jeff Red Gaming. Jeff, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Fine. It's been a day, as so I've heard.
Well, I feel like my body's preparing for tomorrow. It's just like, start feeling like shit now because it's not going to get better.
No. Rip. Well, hopefully we can change
savings.
that. Oh, yeah, true. I keep forgetting about that.
Everybody get ready to wake up an hour earlier.
There's a timestamp for this video when we're recording. Hey. But you guys can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every first and third Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can join in the chat and talk about the topics that we're about to talk with us and blah, blah, blah. That was terrible. But anyways, you can chat with us and keep the conversation rolling. If you can't catch it live, it's always put over on YouTube and SoundCloud the following Friday in full in video and MP3, so you can check it over there. And last but not least, remember, guys, we're brought to you by the merch store. You can get all of your swag over there: t-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand, support us. It would be greatly appreciated. So, Jeff, episode 5 for you.
Yeah,
4, 5.
Yeah, fifth appearance.
Fifth appearance. Jesus.
I'm in the 5-timers club.
Yeah. So, in a weird twist of fate, because I'm dumb and I couldn't think of a topic until an hour ago, you have 2 topics today, and I only have 1 topic today. You are slowly taking over, like you said.
But mine are badly thought out ones. So, you know,
it's better than,
as is usual.
It's better than
I think of a half thought and then you carry it.
We'll see. So, Jeff, what is your first topic for today?
Okay, we didn't want to do the one where I'll be a cranky old man.
Cranky's
first, right?
last, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so. You have been streaming for 5 years, over 5 years. And I know you said you wanted to get back into the YouTube side of things a little bit. I am approaching my 2-year YouTube anniversary, and I just passed my 1 year on Twitch.
Cool.
And I wanted to pick your brain on not the game playing side of things, but like the production side of things. Like, I'm very, make things up as I go. See, well, we'll start it out with what I do. Like, for my stream, I'm very, very, like, it's all designed on not obstructing the game as much as possible. I don't want the webcam in front of like any text or anything like that. I don't have anything too obtrusive. You obviously have been at this a little longer. You have a bit more of a polished production. Yeah. You own a green screen. Mm-hmm. And like an actual arm thing for your microphone. Yeah. Meanwhile, I bought a used band mic stand at a garage sale.
Oh, okay. I mean, it works.
But yeah, like because a lot of my production, like the streaming is just something I do. It's just live and I do it and then it goes up and there's no editing whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But I put a lot of stuff into the back end I used to put a lot of stuff into the back end of the YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Because that's how I had to learn to edit for stuff like that. I couldn't just upload videos. Right. Because when I started, I was just recording using the PS4's native recording thing.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, I think one of the very early videos on the YouTube channel actually has like the YouTube movie or the PlayStation Movie Maker like intro.
Oh, cool. All right.
The thing on it, Mm-hmm. Like all of the entire series of Last of Us was just recorded with actually this cheap ass headset plugged into the PS4 controller, sitting on my living room floor, playing at night. And I wanted to ask like how you were when you started and like how you've grown from there.
Okay. We've talked about this a couple of times on the podcast, but streaming was not even a thought at first. Like, I had no idea about any of Twitch or anything like that. I was doing YouTube with some friends, and I mean, we were trying it out, doing what we can. 3 videos a week or something like that. I think we were going Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then, yeah, randomly one friend was like, hey, have you ever heard of this Twitch thing? And I was like, what? No. So I checked it out, and he's like, yeah, I think we should give this a try. And I was like, all right, this seems interesting. So we planned our first stream. Was there a first stream? Yeah, it must have been. But we played Minecraft online, 3 of us. And I was like,
I don't know why my brain went to Minesweeper, and I was like, I bet that
yeah,
was riveting.
3-person Minesweeper. That, huh? I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, we played Minecraft, and it was cool. But then the following week, like, we scheduled it out, so I was gonna be like 2 days, and then the other 2 guys are gonna be 1 day, just because their work schedules or however it worked out. And then like Saturdays were gonna be our like group day. We're gonna all stream and play something together. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember how it worked out, but like one guy tried it. And like he just couldn't handle it, like either his bandwidth or computer or something. So it kind of borked on him. And then it came to my turn, and I played Shining Force because like I like this game a lot. I'll be able to talk about it at least the part I had played at that point. And I was like, sure, fuck it, whatever. And you know, us being supportive of each other, we made the plan like, hey, we're gonna go, you know, watch each other's streams and be in the chat and mod it up and help them, you know, support each other, help talk with the people that do show up if anybody does, and then go from there. So I think after that first stream, they were both like, we don't want to do it, the streaming aspect. But you're really good and you should do that. And I was like, okay, I guess. So like I was going to be the stream guy, and then they were still going to, you know, do the YouTube content. And then from there, you know, history's history. They kind of fell out from there too. And then things just kind of kept going for me, because I was just like you said, it's for fun and you know, just doing it. But yeah, back then it was definitely a different beast. I mean, there were certain things I couldn't play, and I mean that happened for the longest time. Like fighting games were always like a blur of pixels, like nobody could tell what is going on.
Technical restraints and things like that. That's why I took forever to get like once again, when I started, it was just on the PS4, and I only could do PS4 stuff because I didn't have a computer. Like it was strong enough to run OBS, but it couldn't run, you know, it couldn't run a stream.
Right.
Somewhere there's a very, very shitty, glitchy test stream of Silent Hill 2 on the YouTube channel.
But yeah, it was just trying it out, and like I said, I didn't know much going into it, so it was very much learn as you go type thing, just like anything. But yeah, that was like the start, I guess, from there.
Yeah. And then I guess like, what would you say your first thing where you're like, okay, I want to do something. I want to put some work into this and improvement.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
Like where you started like actually investing a significant portion of your creative energy into it, as opposed to just like playing something and talking, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
Or money.
Well, I mean, the partner thing was always like, oh, this could, you know, there's that far light off in the distance, like this could be a thing. And that was before affiliate was even a thought. Like, so that was like, oh boy, okay, what kind of things do we need? Ooh, don't have that. Ooh, don't have that. Like, but honestly, I think it was the same as the YouTube channel. For some reason, like, I joined that only to be like supportive. I was like, you want to do this? Hell yeah, I will support you the best I can. You want to play video games and record something? I'm there. You want to be stupid in front of the camera? I will try my best. You need help editing? Sure, why not? Like, I was down to do all that, and like, I never thought, I mean, knowing myself before any of the streaming, and even before like teaching Taekwondo kind of thing, like, I never thought I would be the person to stand in front of people and talk a while and give instruction, or sit in front of a camera and talk for 2 to 3 hours on and off about things, or, you know, keep a conversation going or starting that. Like, never thought I would do that. But for some reason, like, when we started doing the YouTube stuff, and like I said, they kind of slowly were dropping out, I was like, this is fun, you know, I want to keep doing it. And it was that fun, like, just side project or hobby. I mean, I was still doing Taekwondo at the time. I think I was done with college, so I wasn't worried about that. Yeah, I was done with that. So it was something to fill my time during the day. And
it was like that. It's that thing where, like, I saw a thing recently where it's like, I'm going on a date with a girl who cooks a lot, and I wanted to try cooking something to impress her, and now I have a new hobby, and I'm pissed because I have to stop cooking and go to this date.
Yeah. So that was
I
that.
just want to stay home and make sourdough.
So yeah, that's where I would say like the inspiration, I guess, to keep going came from. I want to say the first incidents where I was like, put all my creative juices into something. See, that's a tough one. I can think of two. Okay, I can think of two things. So the one group of friends, like I said, they stopped doing the content with me, and they were still supportive of it. It was just like, yeah, we don't really want to work on this thing or whatever, don't have the time. So like we would still do streams here and there with them, or I would bounce ideas off of them as well. But then like a new group of friends, well, I mean, I already had them, but like they started getting more involved with that, and we did these Friday night streams where we'd play fighting games, or it was mainly fighting games, but we would play other stuff. So it was like, I always called it fight nights, but like those were
Friday
just those were always just a lot of fun with Billy, John, and Dio. And that was like a whole summer, just every weekend we would do that, and then come over, and it'd be insanity. And those streams seemed to get like decent numbers of us being idiots. So like that was fun, just kind of like seeing how invested they were. And it was along the same lines. Like they weren't like, oh, we're going to edit videos or we're going to record videos. Or they were like, we're here to be, they were playing my role. We're here to be dumb. Let's be dumb, kind of thing. And I was like, all right, because I need that. Like I was still struggling, and I still am from time to time, of doing that solo act kind of thing. Like it helps when you have other people to bounce off of, because it's just not all on you. So it was a big support system from them. So that was a fun idea for a while, of like, oh, maybe this will be the new group of people that make some content together. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I mean, Dio moved west. Billy was going to college soon after. John was working a bunch. Like, it just didn't work out that way. We always joked about like, oh, one day we're going to get a studio and we'll do this and we'll do that. But, things said. And then I would say the other thing, just because it's the same every year, that I always get amped for, is Extra Life. I mean, the first one only did a 12-hour. I did one 12-hour, and then the following week I kind of like split it up. Like the rest of the week was dedicated towards it. But since we've been doing the 24 hours, like, and inviting a bunch of people over, and we'll do stupid things with the wheel, or we'll make these dumb milestones, like that's just a lot of fun. Like the past two, I've started planning months in advance just to kind of figure out like what roadmap, how are we going to tackle this. And I think I talked about this at the end of this Extra Life, maybe not on stream or on the podcast, but sneak peek. No, I'm just kidding. I was debating, because November, sometimes here in New York there's snow on the ground, sometimes there's not. It's a toss-up. I was thinking we tried to do an outdoor camera this year, and Lady knows, because I wanted to incorporate like the board breaking into it, since we had obviously myself, but we had a bunch of other Taekwondo people too, so I thought maybe that would kind of be interesting.
Here's what you do.
Yeah.
You get an air mattress. You find a hill with snow on it. You go down and you have some people stand at the bottom of the boards, and you got to break the board.
Oh, there you go.
I say an air mattress because that has wider areas, so you have more.
Yeah, I hear you.
Sturdier base. If you did it on a saucer, you'd be spinning.
Oh my God, no, thank you.
And then you can like put it on YouTube and edit it, so you can put in like SSX tricky sound effects and things.
Oh,
like
there
that.
you go. There you go. I was thinking crap, I always forget the name of the song, but the
Oh,
that
yeah.
one.
Yakety sack.
Yes.
Yakety sacks. Yep.
But yeah, we were thinking, so I was like, we made the outdoor camera, we tested it all. Unfortunately, on the wheel, board breaking never came up until like late at night. I was like, well, shit. But I was thinking of maybe doing a second Extra Life stream, one during the summer, where we do outdoor stuff for punishments, and then do the normal one in November, because everybody's hyped about Extra Life.
You guys out in the woods, and you brought a TV and a console and
Well,
a generator.
No, just at my parents' house where it usually is.
We're gonna play Five Nights at Freddy's in the woods.
Oh God. Oh God.
Or I guess like more appropriately would be the forest or something like that.
Oh Jesus, that would be terrible. But yeah, just kind of incorporating, because now we know how to do the outdoor camera. So like I said, doing more outdoor stuff, because that way we have more ideas. We can make a mess outside compared to inside my parents' house where my mom will kill me if something happens. Like, we have that freedom.
Living at home's got its advantages.
Yeah, So, I would just say, yeah, that would be like I said, the big thing that was like energy into that. Go. So.
Yeah, I think the first thing, because like you can go see, if you go back and look at the very early things I did for the YouTube channel, I think it's like, I don't know if the Arkham Knight stuff is still there, but it was like a couple episodes of Wolfenstein: The New Order, and maybe one or two Secret of Mana things. Like, it's tonally, it's completely different. Like, because I was just like basically just regurgitating facts and making stupid voices. And I think around the time that I started doing Evil Within and Last of Us, I started to find more of my actual voice for it. As far as like, getting into it and being goofy and stupid and just like not worrying about being stupid.
Yeah.
Which, when you're playing something like Evil Within for the first time, you can't, it's like, I'm going to fuck up and almost crap my pants a couple times. But like the first thing where I was like, I really want to like put something into this, and I don't remember at all how it came about, was the first Scary-tober, where I was like, we're just gonna play scary games all month long. I'm gonna do like extra stuff on the edit for like, so like if you go watch the Silent Hill 2 playthrough, there's like the aspect ratio is different for that game, obviously. So there's like this rusty metal crap on the sides of the screen and stuff like that. And then obviously, the following year, like, and then I started like, oh, I've got Facecam now and things like that. And then the following year, I amped up Scary-tober again, which someday I'm going to have to come up with a better name for that. It's still just like, every time I'm like, oh, it hurts a little. Hurts to say it a little bit. But then I was like, okay, 2 videos, which I think I might have done 2 videos a week for the first one too. I can't remember, but that was like a dedicated, like, 2 videos a day, 7 days a week. Like, that's one of those things, like, I started that in like August. I started recording for that. And I didn't finish it until like halfway through, or the beginning of October. I'm probably going to take it a little easier this year.
Good.
Considering how sick I got. Like, there are entire sections of Dead Space 2 I do not remember because I was on cold medicine.
Oh boy.
The video, like, I wasn't like out of my mind. Like, it was like any other video that I was, if you watch it, but at the same time, it's like, I just don't remember playing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's, for me, it hasn't been, because I'm still very much like, sometimes it's like the only reason I have Facecam is because people want to see that. Like, I don't like covering up the game.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get a green screen, this is all going away. Although, like, with the way it is now, it looks like I have a produced set. Like, this looks like a basement you would have in the 80s, It's like, you put work into that. It's like, no, this is just where I live, and I don't have a nice basement. There's a ladybug that has been bugging me for 3 days. But yeah, that's like, it was very much like, okay, just upload it straight. And then it's like, oh, I want to do something, because when I started recording The Last of Us, that was a really long game, so I had to record, like, I didn't know how like episode lengths I wanted or things like that. I had no plan for that. So it's like, well, I'm just gonna like record, I don't know, like 20 to 40 minutes or something like that. But I think they started getting longer, like closer to an hour, and I started recording like hour sections at a time. And you can only record like an hour on the PS4 before it just turns off. So I would have to set the recording time for an hour, like set an alarm for 50 minutes, and then like stop it and start a new recording, and then do another like 20 minutes. And then I had to learn to edit that, which is a lot of basically everything up until sometime during the middle of the God of War series that I never finished. When I got the Elgato, it was all done that way, splicing together PS4 recordings using Microsoft Movie Maker.
Okay.
Which is not a robust program, but it was free and something I already owned.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I can learn the basics, and maybe I'll get like, I don't know, what's the thing that everybody uses? Qdoba? What is it?
Qdoba. That's a
I know there's an O and an A and a D and a B or something.
I don't know.
Adobe is what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of Adobe, but and then I got that, and I was like, okay, well, now I actually have to learn how to properly edit, and then it's like balancing out sound levels and things like that. Which I realized, recording the audio and the video all in one, I have to make sure of that beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something I can change later on.
Right.
And that's still something I was figuring out to the point where it's like a couple months ago, you were like, you might want to turn the volume down on the videos, the music at the end. I was like, what are you? Oh God, you're right. Okay, my ears, ow. But it's still very much been like it's evolved from like figuring out all these things. I think the last big thing I learned was how to pixelate things with Life is Strange 2.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think I'm gonna have to use that now again with Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah.
The new Colossus, but no, I had to use it with the first Wolfenstein as well a couple times. That was the first one I had to do it, and I couldn't figure it out, so I just blurred out like half the screen. But it's turned into like, normally you would do a lot of work on the back end, and I do like. My recordings are usually, I try to keep them as close to around 20 minutes as possible per episode for YouTube. That's a digestible length, Sure. That's not, nobody's submitting a big chunk of their day for that. For longer games or games that require a bit more tediousness, like Dishonored, when you're sneaking around, I'll go like maybe 30 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it has turned into, instead of doing stuff on the back end, like making sure everything's perfect and I don't fuck up during the recording, so that there's almost no editing required.
Oh, okay.
Which, if you watch the Dishonored stuff, like I cut out some of the loading and some of like the catching back up to where I was.
Mm-hmm.
But I basically just adjusted some volume here and there and added the ending.
Right.
And I've really gotten that down to a T, and I'm really proud of that. It's like all the half of the back end stuff is already done.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to string it together and render it and then upload it.
Yeah.
But that brings me to my other topic, and then streaming. I got into that, and that's again very much the same thing. It's just get everything set beforehand so that it'll look good on the VODs, and then upload that.
Mm-hmm.
And then remember to go back and add like the boxes at the end for the links for the next video.
Oh,
and things like
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's something I'm very bad at.
That's something like I do once a week, and I just spend like an hour like going back and adding them in on every one.
Gotcha.
And then at the end of it, I'm like, Jesus, I need a drink.
Yeah, they gotta make that process
Well, they have
easier.
the new upload, the new YouTube studio, and it's not.
No, it's not great.
It's better than what it was even like a month ago.
Oh, is it?
It's a lot better, yeah.
Okay.
Like I can actually do playlists now in the new one.
Okay.
Which is good because they finally started being like, hey, the old one's going away.
Right.
So, get used to the new one, get your complaints in now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like every time something they popped up, I was like, this thing sucks, it doesn't exist.
Right.
This is stupid. But that brings me to the next thing is you are being gracious enough to participate in Scarytober this year.
Ayo.
We're going to be doing Dead Space 3, the co-op, which is the best way to play the game because that's where you get all the scariest stuff.
Oh, lovely. Great.
Well, it's all centered around, hey, your character got his own book, so
oh, really?
He has an entire novel, yeah.
Isaac too. No,
Isaac actually didn't get a novel.
No?
There are 2 Dead Space books, and one is about a background character who never appears in the game because he's dead, named Altman. And then there's a book about Carver, who's the character you'll be playing.
Okay.
So if you want to do some reading, get your motivation.
What's my character?
But you have graciously agreed to do this, and I have to ask, are you okay?
Am I okay?
Like, you know my work ethic. You are willingly agreeing to work with a person that you and I both agree is crazy.
Right. Yeah.
And you're okay with this.
It seems it.
20 to 30 minute episodes. We're going to clock it. It's like a 20-hour game, maybe a 30-hour game. with DLC. Like, we're gonna have to start recording this in the spring.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be okay.
3 episodes a session of recording. Yeah. Do you need to talk to somebody? Like, this is what you're willing to do with your free time.
Psych, that's what the stream is every time.
Crazy workaholic.
Yeah, see, I'm seeing this as a good opportunity, obviously, us to hang out. But
yeah,
obviously, you're networking, I'm networking, getting a little bit more exposure with each other's audiences, which is good. Not that they're big audiences, but still, it helps.
Yeah, I mean, I got a nice comment today from somebody I've never heard of before and never interacted with on YouTube. Which
there
nice.
You go. Nice.
Yeah, I was like, good content. Keep making good content. I was like, use the word content. I didn't say that, but that's what I thought.
But yeah.
I was like, yay, a Canadian, international.
You mentioned...
I'm hitting the big time.
You mentioned workaholic. Like, that was definitely... I had that. And I don't know what's been going on, but I feel like this past year or two, I've kind of like lost that drive in a way in certain aspects. Like, actual life still there, but like some aspects just like it's not there. So I feel like this project, quote unquote, I think that's gonna help. And like you mentioned earlier, I've mentioned getting back more into the YouTube stuff. I don't know if I'll do like the same approach as you, because I struggle with like, hey, here's an episode, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Kind of, I have that mental
like
wall or whatever.
An upload and like a schedule and...
Yeah.
You know, like, this is your little blurb about what goes on in it.
Right.
Which sucks because you have to have one for the description of the video in the video. Then you have to have one for Twitter. And then in my case, I also have to have a separate one for YouTube or for Facebook. Although sometimes I feel like this little sentence I'm writing about it is better than the actual episode.
Yeah.
Like, there were a couple for Evil Within, and it's like there was one where like a level where you're on a bus and you're getting chased by a giant monster, and it's like, well, it's Monday. What better way to spend it than on mass transit? You know?
Yeah. So like when we first did YouTube, like we did that, but we did like 10 episode runs of things. Like we did 10 episodes of Smash Bros, 10 episodes of Mario Kart. Like those are very simple because, you know, hey, we do a couple races. Okay. You know, you're done for the recording. It, like, I don't think I could do that for like a story game. And I have some ideas of like what I want to do on YouTube. Obviously we got the podcast going out, which is great. So like technically of the 52 weeks, half of them are covered, you know, I don't have to worry about those. It's just those in between weeks. And I mean, I used to do the weekly vlogs. Those kind of died off because, once again, I was doing them with other people, and they wouldn't send me stuff when I needed it. It was like, guys, this is supposed to go up tomorrow. Come on.
Yeah.
And then I just ran out of stuff to talk about. I'm like, well.
And well, that's a big thing of why and you know of my struggle with this, but why I eventually settled on the 4-day, 20-minute episode uploads, because that means I can record that in roughly, hold on, my math is really bad. An hour and 20 minutes. If I do that one time a week, I have a week's worth of uploads.
Right.
If I do 2 hours and 40 minutes, I have 2 weeks worth of uploads. 2 hours and 40 minutes. And, you know, with a little bit of downtime between episodes, between like hitting the stop button and hitting record again, let's up that up to like 3 hours. You know, an extra 20 minutes of like snacks and breaks and things like that. 3 hours of video games a week for 2 weeks of uploads. I'm going to do that anyways. And when I have the energy, it's like, I had a problem. Like, I do like doing 2 games at once sometimes, if they're not really long games. You know, like Monday and Wednesday is game A and Tuesday and Thursday is game B. I did that for a while with, before Scarytober started I think it was like, when I was finishing up Beyond Good and Evil, I was doing that and then like other games. But when I was doing 5 days a week, it was like I had all this pressure, like one game's going to get an extra day. Does that mean like, do people think I like that game more? And just my brain being my brain. And so I was like, no, 4 days a week. I stream 3 days a week and I can put those. The idea was always, okay, Monday stream goes up Friday, Thursday stream goes on the YouTube channel Saturday, and Friday stream goes on Sunday, and I never fucking remember to do that. They're always up like the next day, because I do it all immediately after the stream.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's like finding that rhythm for that kind of thing can be difficult.
Yeah. So I think what I'm just going to try, well, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I want to get those off weeks, like I said. I want to get like maybe 2 or 3 videos just up. Because obviously, if you take a break at any point, unfortunately, you can lose people, you know?
Yeah.
which
is why I try to record ahead. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, which sucks. But, I mean, obviously you have to take breaks from time to time. There's nothing wrong with that.
YouTube is a little bit more forgiving on that than Twitch is. Like Twitch, it's like if you don't stream, like there's people who are like, "Oh, I'm fucking out. I'm only here for this one thing." So you know.
But yeah, I've had a bunch of ideas of like what I want to do, and I mean, I can tell you like 4 or 5 videos, like almost done edited, and I'm just like, do I want to edit? Like, like that.
Well, see, that's why I was like, I'm gonna figure it all out while I'm recording, so I don't have to do too much editing.
Well, see, the edit. Okay, well, what I do for editing isn't all that bad, to be honest. Like, all right, a little behind the scenes scoop here, folks. All right, so your boy records a video, and then your boy watches said video and timestamps things. When did things happen? When am I cutting? Ooh. Well,
that's how I record 20-minute episodes, so I just have to remember, like, okay, this happened. Something happened at some point around the middle of this one that I need to change.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna forget.
I had to run and do something with the kids. So.
See, I forget for sure, 100%. Like I go in with that. I'm like, oh, that's good. Like even with clips from streams, I'm like, oh, that's good. I should go clip that. Totally forget.
Yeah, and honestly, like when I'm editing it, and this is not the greatest thing to admit, but fuck it, nobody thinks I'm a professional. No one comes to me for professional, skilled things. I don't even watch it. I just look for the audio readout when it gets really loud. Like, okay, something probably happened there, and I should.
I mean, hey, it's some way to.
Or if there's like a long stretch of nothing, it's like, okay, I'm probably just running around. I can cut that out.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's loading. Although there was one that I put up recently that I was particularly proud of, where I got spotted by somebody. I don't know if you saw this Dishonored one.
I still need to watch a couple.
Oh, I got spotted by somebody, and I was like, oh, he seen me. And as I was editing it, I was like, fuck, I should just put the thing in from Pineapple Express where it's like, I seen it. And so there's just this one random clip of, I can't think of his name. Craig something? I can't think of his name. But it's the clip from Pineapple Express being like, I seen it. Just random.
Yeah, I used to do videos like that, and I personally loved them. Like, I edited the Fight Night streams, as I was mentioning earlier, and yeah, I would throw these references and videos in there because that was YouTube for a time. I think I was behind that wave or late for that, but it was fun. But yeah, with the timestamps, I mean, like podcasts, so easy to edit out.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
Start a topic, end a topic. Like these take no time at all to edit. Rendering, on the other hand, oh boy, those take forever.
That's why I'm so glad I'm done with Control, because Control was such a long game. I was doing like, get to the 40-minute mark and then see where you feel from there, you know? Like go a little bit longer because the load screens are kind of long. So add another 6 minutes on it to even out for cutting out the load screens. But like editing those and rendering those, it's like, okay, nothing but 20 minutes for like a couple months, please.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, topic-wise, like individual topics, it's not bad. Like maybe an hour, maybe 2. The freaking full episodes take like 10 to 12 hours. Is like, please.
Yeah, I don't know that I could do that. Although I have started attempting best of compilations for some of my playthroughs. Which like those usually run between 25 and 30 episodes, and the problem is like to save room on my computer as I go along, like I'm halfway through the game, okay, delete all of the edit files and things like that, so I just have the original file and the final recording, and then it's like, oh fuck, well, like do I upload all the final recordings to my editing software and edit that, or do I save all the edits and splice them together? And it has not been going well. I have not made much progress.
Yeah, I hear you there.
One of those things that's like, maybe I'll wait on this until I get big enough to have somebody who's like, is like, hey, can I make this for you?
But yeah,
if that ever happens.
I thought about
or,
that same.
I'm gonna like wait till Willow's 10, and then I'd be like, hey, you want $10 a week?
There you go. But yeah, I've thought of that the best of thing is another idea I had. There's a YouTuber I watch, and streamer, Maximilian dude, who does like these hype and rage compilations of, it was originally fighting games.
And rage ones are really popular, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So not necessarily like I'm getting that way, but like essentially those hype and rage videos, or what he calls them, like something like that, where it's this 20-minute thing of him playing through the whole game, edited pieces, you know, and it's just the ups and the downs. But I wanted to do that for Jedi Fallen Order because I loved that game.
Oh, that'd be good.
And I was just going to be like, so I still need to do it, but I got to go through all the footage and be like, okay, this is a mark, you know, like, here's the thing that was cool, whatever. And then I want to put that together. So I think at the point where I'm at right now is I want, in a way, like to feel like I'm making progress. I want more production based, like this was a produced piece kind of thing. And I mean, not to say like those old videos we used to do weren't good, because like I think like when Kate and I live together and we have friends over, like another video that I have edited out here is the werewolf games that we played, the card games, like simple, this is game 1, this is game 2, this is game 3, like playing that. Or like if we play, I want to play more Gmod, like I still should go back and edit those Gmods. You know,
I really have to go check out your old stuff.
So like,
I really have to,
like, figuring out that and like doing more like, hey, like even if it doesn't go out, like that was a motto we always had originally with the YouTube, like let's just record whenever we're playing something. Like, not with the intent of, like, this is going to go up on YouTube and we're going to edit it and shit. Just, like, us having a good time. Us playing.
You know, I should do that because it's gotten to the point where even when I'm not recording, if I'm just playing a game for me, I'll catch myself, like, mugging at the camera and things like that when stupid things happen and commenting on it as if I was recording.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, oh, that was fucking... There's nothing, the camera's not on.
Right. Yeah, so...
Or just like...
yeah, the simple things.
And the camera's not even in front of me. I live in a living room and there's no camera. I'm just looking at the DVD player being like, are you kidding me?
So, yeah.
Or the dog.
Really?
Because the dog will often sit in front of me and stare.
Yeah. So, I just gotta figure... I think with this project, it will help. Like, obviously, I'll see that side of things where it's, you know, episode to episode. And you said earlier you're not this professional, but I feel like I could still learn something from you in that process. Like, oh, this is how Jeff tackles it. Like, this is where...
Well, like I mean, a big part of my thing is just like, if things are going wrong, just go longer. Because you know you're going to have to edit it out. And you don't want to do something... Like, if you have something you want to present in a specific way, you don't want to have, like, a bunch of things that are one way, and then one that's, like, a third the length or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then you're just like, okay, well, we did that last time. Let's watch for it. Let's not re-record. Don't be disingenuous about it. Just make sure, you know, admit to it up front. Be like, this is stupid, but we're just going with it.
Yeah. So figuring
outside of you know, making it up as you go, I don't know how much you'll learn from me though.
Well, I mean, the way I'm seeing it, like I said, is your process.
Although you could always record them as well.
For sure.
On your end?
Yeah.
And then play around with it however you feel like. You could, like, I'm going to be starting and stopping. I'll be like, okay, if this is, you know, we're at this mark, we're going to call this one here. Like, you know, do you want to do the sign off? And then we'll cut it and we'll have like a, you know, get up, stretch, whatever. And then start back and we'll go in with the intro and everything. And like the game will be continuous, but each one of those is like a stop, redo all the settings, start.
But yeah, I'm like I said, that's not...
You could do that, or you could do the whole thing at once and, you know, just cut out the pieces. And
yeah, that's not my forte, but like I'm seeing like, hey, maybe after doing this project with you, like, you know what, that was really fun. Maybe I want to do those episodes, or maybe I'm like, you know, that isn't my thing. And like you said, do it in a big chunk or do a compilation of my side of the recordings. Like, that could be something that we talk about.
I'm going to tell you, you're going to see stuff that's completely different from what I'm seeing.
Oh, really? Okay.
At certain parts. Yeah. Huh. Absolutely, I am not going to be aware of anything that you are seeing on your end, even if we're like the characters are side by side.
Huh. Oh, all right.
So a lot of the most interesting stuff is going to happen on your end.
Wouldn't you want it the other way around?
No, because I'm Isaac, and the way that game is like, the first two, the big complaint about Dead Space 3 is that it's not as scary. It's more actiony.
Okay.
But like the main character Isaac has spent 2 games dealing with this. Mm-hmm. He's sick of this shit at this point. Like he's got like, I know how to kill him. Let's do this. Your character, this is his first outing.
Oh, lovely. And it is my first outing.
Like, yeah, he's a soldier, but this is his first time dealing with all this crazy shit. So of course it's scarier for him. Isaac is self-admittedly insane and just like tired, and he's just like, can we just come on, let's go.
Okay. You know? Huh. Well, that'd be cool. But yeah, it's a matter of, like I said, figuring out where I want to go. Like, I got to find that drive again in certain ways. And maybe it was just like, maybe it's a life thing. Maybe it was just like, I'm not happy with this certain aspect of my life. And maybe like this recent restart, you know, maybe that's all it takes. Like, hey, I got a new job.
I've had moments where it's just like,
Jenga.
That's probably what that is. I've had moments where it's like, why am I doing this? And you know, because we've talked about my depression and stuff like that. But it's like, why am I doing this? I'm never gonna be able to make enough off of this to like quit my job or anything like that. And like normally it's like because I like it and it's fun is enough. But sometimes it's, I have spent this much money on this, putting into this. I have to keep going until I get that amount back.
Right. Yeah, I hear you there.
Like, I have to pay off my Elgato and my camera and my mic and all of the games. So basically, like, once my credit card is done, there's no guarantee I'll keep going forever. Once that credit card's paid off and chopped up.
Right. So.
But then again, you know, we got Doom, Final Fantasy, Last of Us, Cyberpunk. That credit card's not going away.
You got some time. You got some time. Oh boy. So yeah.
Especially considering I got the special editions. By the way, does anybody want a copy of Doom for PC? Doom Eternal?
@ Jeff Reg Gaming, JEFFREGAMING. But why did I spell that? It's right there underneath you. That's for the podcast people.
My computer's like, oh, you're going to render a video? Better go do something else, anything else for 5 hours instead of doing this video. Or doing anything on the, don't even try on the
Oh, no.
Don't even try it.
No, you gotta let that computer do its thing.
All right, now time to go do laundry.
Yep. Nice. Any other production stuff?
Well, we talked about, do you want me to kind of fill you in on Dead Space? Or there will be an intro video that we can watch.
You know what? With you saying that Carver's the new guy and he's not going into this prepared at all, I think this fits our team perfectly. You know what's going on and you're just ready for it.
Cool. So I'll be able to, I'll just fill in things.
Yeah.
Because we'll have audio logs and things like that to find and read. And you're going to have to put up with me because I love reading all of that shit in those games. So we're going to stop, and I'm going to start reading things out loud dramatically.
That's fine. I'm in there for a ride.
Meanwhile, you can be like, I'm going to stomp the shit out of this couch or something like that. So, like, as we go, if you have questions, I can just explain it.
Oh, man, that would be a funny edit. Just put our footages together. You're just over there, like, doing this big scripture, and I'm just over there, like, smacking the shit out.
It's just me reading, like, July 3rd, we landed on the planet and we made base camp, and there's like dum, dum, dum,
yeah, it's dramatic music.
Meanwhile, you're in the back, like your side of it. It cuts to you, and you're just stomping, and it's just like hardcore metal, like.
Now that's a good edit. We should do that.
There you go. Awesome. We got a plan.
Oh boy.
Or you're just like you're gonna do the thing that they did in Vampire, where I'm going to be reading something, and you're going to be like, how can I get in the background of where his camera is and just fuck around? Can I stick my gun through the thing that he's reading?
Hello. That'd be good. So yeah. I think going in blind will fit the characters as well. That'd be good.
Cool.